Tonight on The Best Times, we talk with the senior manager of Link 211, the comprehensive database for senior resources in 11 Mid-South counties. We'll tell you about a unique art technique that can de-stress your life. And there's more music from the performers of Creative Aging. Funding for The Best Times is provided by the Plow Foundation, striving to do the greatest good by helping the greatest number of people since 1964. Additional funding is provided by the members of WKNO. Thank you. Hello, I'm Chris Hardaway. Welcome to this edition of The Best Times, a series that looks at life after 50. Back in the late 70s, I was a rookie journalist. When I needed facts and data to complete a story I was working on, I turned to our reference library. If I couldn't find what I needed there, all I had to do was make a telephone call to a brand new department of the Memphis Public Library. The Library Information Center was the repository for answers to every question I had, and it helped me write my stories with accuracy. This marvelous resource still exists today, but it has morphed over time into a valuable resource for the entire community, and particularly the senior population. When you call, you're connected to a librarian who has a database of hundreds of government services, human resources agencies, and volunteer organizations that can help you solve your problem. And all you have to do is dial 211. Well, Kimberly, thank you for being on the Best Times. I know that there are probably viewers that aren't aware of what Link 211 is. So tell me, what is Link 211?
Yes, and thank you for having me. Link 211 is a service that has been provided for a number of years, and originally it was called Link, and we were the library information line, where you could call and ask any question pretty much about anything. And as times kind of moved forward in the 80s, moving into the 90s, we added a component called 211. Now, 211 came out of the FCC, as I call it, the 11s, 311, 411, 911. And 211 has been set up in communities across the United States as well as North America. And we give information, community service information. That's pretty much what we do.
What you mentioned services. Give me an example of the services that you can provide, the help that you can provide.
If a parent is having problems with a child and is seeking some services where they can go and have some counseling, we have a plethora of nonprofits that do those kinds of services. If you have seniors who are looking for senior housing, or if they're looking for assistance with maybe issues as it relates to home repairs, we have information that we can give on when is the next concert. I mean, we have a plethora of information that we can give from A to Z, but it is undergirded by community service kinds of issues and organizations that would be of service to the community.
So the way I understand Link 211 is actually connecting people with a potential solution to their issue, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And you mentioned the senior community. Are there special services or services directed specifically to the senior community?
Yes, and let me I guess fast forward just a bit and give you some information relative to what has happened during the pandemic.
Okay.
What has happened during the pandemic is that we found that there was a need where seniors were unable to get out, to get food, to get medicine, to get other things. And so an example of how we collaborate and coordinate with organizations is that the Neighborhood Christian Center stepped up. And they said, hey, we're going to coordinate this effort to get food and other items to seniors, to persons who have disabilities, and to others who can't get out. Can Link help us? Can Link 211 help us? So what we have done is become the front line in terms of gathering information when people call. We make sure that persons fit in a certain criteria, and we give that information to Neighborhood Christian Center, who then moves forward with making those deliveries for those particular persons. So those, and the majority of those that we're serving through that program are seniors who are unable to get out. But we have other information that we have for seniors that may be specific to seniors. And some of those things, we work with the Council on Aging, we work with the Family Safety Center, we work with Meriton, Special Olympics. So any program pretty much, or any need that a senior may have, we hopefully will have a contact for them in that regard.
What is Link's service area?
Our service area is very interesting because it was precipitated by a relationship with United Way. And so we serve Shelby, but we also have 6 other counties that we serve in Tennessee, and we have 3 counties in Mississippi, and we serve Crittenden. And when I say serve, I mean our database is massive. We have over 5,000 entries that if a person calls from any of those places, we can certainly give them up-to-date information from those areas.
Now, how big is your staff then, if you serve that many counties?
That's a good question. We have a wonderful staff. We have a full and part-time staff of about 18 persons. And what has happened is that during the pandemic, we are very, very fortunate that we do cross-collaborative training here in the library. So what we've had to do is pull some staff from some other areas, because during the pandemic, our call flow has gone from an average of like maybe 200 to up to 800 calls that we have been getting per day. So we have continued to be here during the pandemic every day on site. We are in the library, as we call it, working in the Link bubble. And we have been in the office from every day, Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. And on the weekends, we work somewhat remotely in answering calls that persons may have.
I am sure that many of the organizations in your database are nonprofit organizations.
Yes.
The kind of organizations that often don't have the marketing budget to tell people that they exist.
Right.
Do you find that a lot of the people who call don't even realize that there is help available?
Let me give you an example of that, an example about that. Again, I'm going back to the pandemic. We have found that we have many people, and this is what happens historically. I've worked in a lot of markets where I've been kind of involved in emergency kinds of situations. We have a number of people who never knew about 211 and or the library services, just the library in general. And what the pandemic has done is opened up a whole new world for many people. We have people who for the first time are needing to use the food bank, or they're needing to use rental assistance, or they're needing to make arrangements for their utilities. And so we have certainly been the conduit for all those folks who never knew that we even existed. And that is such a good feeling to know that we are literally not boots on the ground, but phones on the ground, where we can make sure that those persons who need help are certainly able to at least be referred, and given hope that they will be referred and helped in some way.
Is it unique for a Link 211 service to be a part of a library system?
Yes, we are one actually of one of a very few in the United States actually that is a part of a library city relationship. Most of the 211s in the country are undergirded and directly related to those United Ways in their areas. So we're very unique.
And from what I understand, at 211, it's a national service. So
yes, it is.
You go into is it literally any area of the country you can go in and you can find a 211 service?
Call 211, exactly. Now there are situations now, which is very interesting because of the hurricanes and other storms. We often will get calls and they will be from those areas where they're having problems. What we have found is that those persons are traveling. So we're picking them up as they're here. So we can also go in and either give them the 211 that is there. If not, we can go through and try to help them to find the information that they need for that area.
Well, this is such a valuable resource for people, not only in the senior community, but all citizens. So
yes.
Tell me once again, how do you get in touch with Link 211?
You simply call 211. And if no one answers the phone, then we're in trouble. But we are here Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. And on the weekends, we have staff who is answering either in person or if you call and leave a message, we will certainly call you back within that day.
Well, Kimberly, thank you for this good information about Link 211.
Yes, thank you. Please make sure that you give us a call again because everything is ever changing. So we're so glad that we were able to get this information out to the public to let them know that we're here and we're here to certainly help.
Well, again, thanks for this valuable information and thank you for being on The Best Times.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Have a good day.
There is an old Chinese proverb that says, tension is who you think you should be, relaxation is who you are. We live in stressful times. Tension and anxiety are a part of modern life, and now we have a global pandemic to worry about. So how do we relieve some of the stress, tension, and anxiety we're all feeling? Some people meditate, others immerse themselves in a good book, or put together a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. But a few people have found quiet relaxation in putting pen to paper and creating intricate designs with the stress-relieving art of Zentangle.
So if you can begin to deepen your inhale, breathing in relaxation. And with your next breath in, think of someone or something you're grateful for. Knowing there's no right or wrong in gratitude, just as there's no right or wrong in Zentangle.
Paige Scheinberg is instructing a Zentangle class. In case you've never heard of Zentangle, this is what the word looks like. And no, it's not a Buddhist crossword puzzle. It's a drawing method using a 3 1/2 inch square of paper and a fine-tipped pen.
Zentangle is a drawing art form where you learn how to draw repetitive tangle patterns to create a piece of art.
Zentangle is the creation of Maria Thomas and Rick Roberts. She is a calligrapher and he is a former monk. Rick noticed how meditative Maria became as she drew the intricate backgrounds for a manuscript, and Zentangle was born.
You start with gratitude and breathing and kind of making space for creativity. And then you learn patterns where you break down very simple lines and shapes to create the patterns and really focus on, having fun with it, knowing there's no wrong way to create the patterns or you can't make any mistakes. And then throughout the whole process, you just kind of see where Zentangle takes you.
The materials used in Zentangle are quite simple. A 3 1/2 inch square of high-quality paper, a fine-tipped black pen, a charcoal or graphite pencil, and a blending stump. And just as there are no erasers in life, there are no erasers in Zentangle. Mistakes simply become opportunities to create a new pattern. Part of the beauty of the Zentangle method is the fact that you don't have to know how to draw. You just create patterns called tangles and link them together.
Each tangle pattern is created with a dot, a straightish line, maybe a C-shaped line, and an S-shaped line. And so when you put those together, you create the different tangle patterns. You put 2 or 3 of those shapes together repetitively, and then you build on it, and then that creates the pattern. All right, so the first tangle pattern we're gonna do is called Crescent Moon. Crescent Moon starts with a half orb shape starting from one of the 4 corners. These half orbs can be the same size, they can be kind of different sizes. Remembering what I create up here is a guide for you to then be inspired by and make your own.
As you watch Paige and her students create their artwork, you might think that Zentangle is nothing more than fancy doodling.
I think that you could call it more of like a mindful doodling. There is intention, there is presence, and there is, you're not concerned with the product that you're making, but you're really in the creative process. And we're gonna draw another line from one end to the other frame or string line, but we're gonna stop when we get to the line that is there. And then we're gonna start again once we get to the other side. So it gives this illusion as though it's kind of going behind the lines that were already there. So you'll kind of choose how much space you want between. Do the lines touch at any point? That is your choice, that's your inspiration.
The images that are created by these simple patterns can be incredibly complex and beautiful. Once you've learned the method, you can branch out to include larger tiles, different color papers, and linking tiles together to fill spaces as large as a wall. But the real beauty of Zentangle art is the feeling it gives the artist.
A lot of these students that I have were told at some point in their life, you're not creative, or don't draw, like that's not your thing, you know. And I believe that everyone is creative and can be visually creative if they create that practice. And so teaching adults who never thought that they could draw, never thought that they were creative, didn't think that this was a part of themselves, that is a great joy for me. And so the more I kind of practice it on my own, the more I can teach it, and the more there's this great kind of cycle of creativity and fun. Once we finish the tiles, we'll put, a mosaic together, and everyone looks at it and cannot believe not only how beautiful and amazing the art is, but also how different it is and how people interpreted it. And they really see, even though they're kind of like during the process, they might say, oh, I messed this up, or I'm not doing this right. But when they see everyone's together, they realize, hey, there isn't a right or wrong way to do it. And so I think that seeing that there isn't a right or wrong way to do art, and also that it can be relaxing and fun and not kind of this stuffy class is, I think, part of the excitement and joy for them.
Studies reveal that 7 out of 10 adults experience anxiety daily. For a third of that group, the anxiety can be constant. Mindful activities like Zentangle can reduce that stress by nearly 40%.
People of all ages and maybe different diagnoses kind of find Zentangle. It helps them relax. It really helps relieve anxiety. That meditative, accessible, part of the creative process of Zentangle really takes people out of, everything that's going on, or the pain or the fatigue, the sadness, and then they're able to kind of go to this place, and nothing else matters during the 10 minutes or the 20 minutes or the 2 hours that you're tangling. A lot of times if I know I have a really long day ahead of me, I'll come sit down in here with a cup of coffee and do Zentangle or Zentangle inspired art for 10 or 15 minutes, just to kind of get focused and relaxed for the day. So I definitely think it's very relaxing and kind of helps you get out of your head. Your anxiety lives in our head, it lives in our bodies, and so Zentangle kind of helps us get it out too.
The organization Creative Aging believes that art can impact our lives at any age. And certainly listening to music is a great way to lower your stress level. So let's de-stress some more by listening to one of Creative Aging's musicians, Deborah Swinney, with the classic W.C. Handy song, St. Louis Blues. Enjoy.
nowhere. I got this St. Louis blues, yeah, as blue as I can be. Oh, that man's got a heart like a rocket to the sea. Oh, yes, he would have gone so far from me. Oh, you see, I love my man like a schoolboy love his kind. Just like a Kentucky Colonel loves his mint and rye. Oh yes, I love my man till the day I die. Oh yes, I love my man till the day I die. Oh yes, I love my man until the day I die. Oh yes, I love my man until the day I die.
Want more information about life after 50? Go online to watch more shows and find more resources. And send us your feedback and story ideas to besttimes@wkno.org. That's all for this edition of The Best Times. Please join us next week for more stories about life after 50. Until then, I'm Chris Hardaway. Thanks for watching. Good night. Funding for The Best Times is provided by the Plow Foundation, striving to do the greatest good by helping the greatest number of people since 1964. Additional funding is provided by the members of WKNO. Thank you.